giving to charity or they're just saying that. There's a lot of people that's called bad actors, meaning they're just liars online. So you got to be careful. You can't trust everything you read online. This is a good question. Based on all the credit cards you have investigated in this learning activity, which would you choose? Explain your reasoning. We can do that a little bit later. All right, definitions, terms associated with credit cards. Got a monthly statement. So when you get a credit card, if some of you maybe already have some, there is a 1 second. All right, so your monthly statements can be something like this, where you have a minimum payment, you have the due date in which you have to pay that minimum payment. It usually has a billing period, meaning that when you bought something between these dates, it will show up on your credit card statement. It has your credit limit, meaning the maximum you're allowed to spend. Available credit is 822, meaning you spent some of it already. Let's see what's happening here. You have your previous balance of $12, meaning you forgot to pay off your credit card from the previous month. Then you have new purchases of $177.06, total new account. And here are the points that were earned. Yeah, that's about it. All right. So let's take a look. Account details on a credit card statement. For MasterCard and Visa, is the card number is 16-digit unique number. Statement date, last day of purchase you made. Then you have your minimum payment, your due date, your grace period is 21 days, meaning you have to pay from 21 days from the date of this thing. You have to pay by July 5th. Oh, wow. Good boy. You have your credit limit, your overdue payable now, the available credit. Cash limit is how much cash you're allowed to take from a credit card. So this is not a good idea because they charge you interest right away. So try not to use your credit card to take cash out. So you can go to an ATM, put your credit card in, and then like take out cash. But it's not advised. They're going to charge you interest right away on a daily basis usually. And then you have your balance and then reward summary. All right, we're going to do 5 questions here. We got the minimum amount you must pay the credit card company by the due date in order for your account to remain in good standing. Is without the statement date, new regular balance, minimum payment, available cash limit, or credit limit. I'm going to guess that's going to be the minimum payment. I'm going to guess. The difference between cash limit and what you have already taken out in cash for that date is, let's see. Yeah, go for it. Okay, so the minimum age that you have to be is 18 to get a credit card. Let's move on. Difference between cash limit, which you have already taken out in cash for that day. Available cash limit, most likely. The last day that purchase you have made for the month, make it onto your statement for that particular month is the statement date. Amount that must be paid by the payment due date to avoid finance charge on new purchases is the okay, this is important. To avoid financial charges, if you make the minimum payment, you will be charged interest. But if you make you have to pay the whole balance in full. That's important. A lot of students don't understand that. When you first get your credit card, that happened to me actually, I remember. And I just paid like, not the minimum, but like around the minimum amount. And I got charged like the full interest. So yeah. Maximum money the credit card company has allowed you to borrow using your card is the credit limit. Boom. How is interest calculated? Good to know. Well, we actually did some math. Remember yesterday? So here we have a purchase of $177.06. So that's the total principal. The interest rate the credit card companies charge is 29.9%. Remember to convert that into a decimal. The number of compounding periods per year is 365 because it's like daily. There are a total of 74 days between, let's say, May 23rd and August 5th. Since interest is compounded daily, the total number of compounding periods is n times t, so it's 74. So the number of compounding periods is going to be n times t. That's 365 times 74 divided by 365, which equals this number, which is 74. Basically the number of days. That's n. Here we have our equation, which we've used before. A is equal to p brackets 1 plus I over n to the power of n times t. I used j in yesterday's example instead of n. I did I divided by j and j times c, but it doesn't really matter. They like to use n. You plug it in. In this case, it's compounded daily, so your quote-unquote n value in this example is 365. So you take the interest rate and you divide it by 365. Now you get that decimal, take it to the exponent 74, and then times it. And then that's your total amount of loan. But just to calculate the interest part alone, you have to take the initial value, which is your future value, which is A, and subtract it from the initial value. And that's how you figure out the interest that you were charged. So in this case, you were charged $11.06 if you don't pay the $177 by the payment date. If transactions are made during the next billing cycle, interest is charged on each purchase date from the day of the transaction until the balance is paid in full. While you are carrying a balance, there is no grace period for purchases made during this time. Suppose during the next billing cycle, when daily interest is being charged on this amount, another purchase of this is made on July 3rd. Daily interest will be charged on this amount from July 13th until August 3rd, when the bill is paid in full. So if you don't pay your credit card in full, then any new purchase you made is also going to be charged interest. So it's just kind of like they're just charging you interest on everything. So let's say you made a purchase of $78.56. Interest rate is still 0.2999. So you have 23 days. You should find the interest amount. It's $1.49 on that $78.56. And your total interest, well, then you add it from the original $11, and then also the $1.50 from this new purchase, and your total interest is going to be $12.55. Obviously, the more you use credit card, the more interest you're going to have. So here we have, suppose you have a credit card with an interest rate of 19.99%, compounded daily, a credit limit of $2,000. You charge groceries to your card twice in one billing cycle, $148.12, and then $96.35. So your billing period is from September 3rd to October 2nd. That means both of these purchases are on the same, billing period. Your payment date is October 31st. Your minimum payment was $7.33. You made the minimum payment of $7.33 on October 31st, and have decided to pay the balance in full on your next payment due date, which is November 30th. You make no other transactions during this time. How much interest will you owe on November 30th? So it makes it easy because you didn't make any other purchases, so you just have to add this value and this value. And then you made a minimum of $7.33, so you should subtract that value, and you should be able to find interest. So let's see what they do. Okay. So here we have 148 and 12 cents. So that's the first amount here. Our interest rate is 19.99%. So you take that divided by 365, and you have to calculate the number of days. So how'd you get 82 days? Well, let's see. You're not going to pay until November 30th, right? So when did you start? You started September 9th. So let's see. How does that happen? Charge made on September 9th. So from 9 to November 30th, how many days is that? Let's count. Let's get a calendar. Hold on, let me get a calendar. So September 9th, let's see. That's here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Wait, is that right? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 7, 12 plus 7, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, so 22 days in September. Then there's 31 days in October, so 22 plus 31 is 53. And then you add another 30, so 83. But then, yeah, I guess you don't count the actual day 30th, so 82 days. So it makes sense. It adds up to 82 days. The amount of interest owing on November 30th is $6.80. How do you figure that out? Well, we found the days, 82 days. We have the interest rate. We have the amount that we got charged, and then boom, you just do the math. Then the charge made on September 18th, same thing, except now since this was on September 18th, the number of days changes. Instead of 82 days, you count till November 30th, you'll get 73 days. Same interest rate, take the amount, multiply it, boom, the interest is $3.93. So the total interest is going to be $680 plus $3.93. That's it. That's how you do that. So hopefully that makes sense. Not too difficult. User fees and penalty charges. Sometimes there's going to be a bunch of fees if you are using your credit card to pay another like credit card or something or another loan. Sometimes they will charge a balance transfer fee. There's a cash advance fee. So if you take cash out from your account over the limit, penalty fee. This happens when if you have automated withdrawals happening to your account and you go over your limit, meaning let's say if you have $1,000 on your limit and you've maxed out, but then you have an automated payment coming out of $50, or doesn't even matter if it's $1 because you've already maxed out, then you'll get a fee. Then there's dishonored payments. So if a payment you have made towards a balance on your card does not go through for any reason, you will be charged a fee for just an honored payment. So a check step balance, peer authorized debit that doesn't go through, convenience checks that aren't honored. So yeah, so you kind of get dinged from both sides. Foreign currency conversion charge. If you go to America or any other country and you're using credit cards, they will charge you an extra fee, and then you have inactive account fee. Yeah, so interesting stuff there. Example 1, cash advance. What's going on here? Suppose you have a credit card that charges 21.9% interest on cash compounded daily. You're working at a seasonal job and decide to withdraw $1,500 on January 5th to get through the next 3 months. That's unfortunate. Just try to see if you can get a friend to loan you. I guess hard to find friends with money to loan you out, but yeah. The credit card company is going to charge you a fee of $3 per transaction plus 1% of the value of the cash advance. How much will the cash advance cost you to pay it back on April 5th of the same year? So what's going on here? The user fees are $18. How? Well, there's $3 and 1%. So 1% is going to be $15 of the $1,500. So automatically you owe $18 just that first day just to take that money out. Now we're going to charge calculate interest. Interest rate is 21.99, 365 because it's daily. Count the days from January 5th to April 5th. And if you get a calendar counted, you get 90 days. So now you do the calculations. This is how much you owe. So on April 5th, you can